our first answer to how to shop for your nerd is tell them that they're supporting the local game store and going to the place where your nerd culture and community is. That is great. I love that so much.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I also think what's kind of funny is, when you and I were wee lads, younger gents, we had one of the best ways to let our families and friends know what we wanted for holiday was the Sears Christmas catalog. Right?
Yeah.
It'd come out, in November, right around just before Thanksgiving, I think. And all the kids would sit around the table and write their initial or circle in a certain color what they wanted out of that catalog. And then you would get socks and underwear. But it was a great resource for families to go, they want a new Lego set or they want a new action figure or Barbie doll or whatever. Today, something like that still exists, but a lot of people don't know about it. For the gaming side, there are multiple game magazines that are published, one of them being Game Trade Magazine or GTM. There's also the Board Game Insider. And I know that Gamma has one, but that's really, you're not going to see that in a consumer space. But I want to say GTS has one as well. I can't remember.
There is a lot also there are online resources like Board Game Geek has the hotness. There are blogs and so forth and whatnot. Now, a secret that let's use the right term. I would suggested lay people or non-hobby gamers. I think we got to workshop a couple more terms for the uninitiated. Let us call them the uninitiated, because I think it is every gamer's job to make them realize that becoming one of us is the most exciting thing that you can do for people. So one of the things that you can let the uninitiated know is if you do BGG, you and the BGG app, you may be one of those people who has your entire collection in the app.
Sure.
And they can have access and look at you as your profile on a list. That's way down the nerd hole. That's nerds buying for nerds.
Yeah, that's nerds buying for nerds, because you're uninitiated. That's a great term. It's already difficult. I actually find BGG a very it's not very user friendly.
It's not on multiple levels in multiple ways. Yeah, don't try to have conversations with people easily. It is not premium. Let's just put it that way.
So for an uninitiated to get on that site, though it is a great site and a great resource, it really is for the alpha initiated.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is. But for the uninitiated, those catalogs on magazines that offer a visual imagery to the product that you can bring home, you can give it to your uninitiated individuals. You can go through it with them just like the old Sears catalog and be like, you know what? These are my grails. These are the games I really would like to have on my shelf. And here's a list of them. And you can go to the friendly local game store yet again and show them physically, this is what my gamer friend wants. Can you get these for me, or do you have these? Makes it super easy.
Why I like going to the favorite local game store is so much about the purchasing is the person has put in effort, right? It's not about getting what you want, because that seems very mercenary. I'm exchanging and if you get on in a certain number of years like myself, you're like, if I wanted something, I just buy it.
For sure. There is that. And I've also seen a lot of stores doing something else that I think is really genius. It's kind of like a gift registry for Christmas for your gamer. So the store will have all their regulars fill out a little form that says these are the top 5 things in the store that I would like for the holidays. If any of my friends or family come in, they can just look at this sheet and know what I want. Right.
I like that because that is getting your uninitiated involved in your community. and bringing them in. You know, I like it as a judo flip because maybe they'll be one more step to becoming initiated. Or like when they have a conversation with the staff at your favorite local game store, they might, you know, try something out or say, oh, if they like this on the list, you know, this thing, or all this kinds of stuff. It is a really great way. I like this idea of informing people, not as necessarily as a way to making sure you get what you want, but as a way to breadcrumb them along to the fascinating world in which we live. It's like, especially when we split screen, it's like I'm taking from your side.
So, one of the things I would like to say though is, for those watching or them or whatever, don't also look at it like, if you're doing this where you're making your list and putting it at your local store or whatever, don't look at it like you're trying to just tell them this is what I want and get me what I want. Look at it as, and I hope that the uninitiated are seeing it as this as well. Look at it as them easing your entry to shop for them, because you know you're going to shop for them anyways. And you're going to get stressed out, and you're going to be like, oh, I don't know what to get them. And then it's going to be last minute, and you're going to get them something that maybe even you as the gift giver are just like, you know, I don't know what to get them. I'm just going to get them this thing.
Right.
An advent calendar of Funko Pops, whatever. Right? And the individual might love Funko Pops, but it's advent calendar, and it's too late. But, you know, I think it really helps both parties, again, with the communication, relieving some of the stress and anxiety to shop for someone that if you're uninitiated, you're not in the space, so you don't have the understanding of what and why they want those things. But when you get them the thing that they put on their list or have gone through a catalog with them or whatever, you're going to see that joy in their face that they're like, that shows that you, one, respect the person that you're getting a gift for, right? You listen to them, right? And you want to, even though you may not understand, your understanding of their world and fun and joy. And I think
that is awesome. I like all that. And in the nature of understanding, I would also suggest these specialized gifts if you're looking for something special for the geek or nerd in your life. Okay? One thing on the list that if you can figure it out, there are a lot of people making one-off and special unique dice sets.
Yeah.
If you know a person loves role playing, is a dice goblin, has a thing for dragons or cats or musical notes or fairy or unicorns, you can find specialty dice makers to either make them or that they already have a limited number of those. And so those dice will be a unique set for that person. If you're but be prepared, some of that stuff is not cheap. If you're looking for something really high end for the nerd in your life, or something that you can share with them, I would suggest any of the nerd travel options. There are conventions to major cities, like PAX Unplugged is coming up. There's the major conventions, all those. But there are also things like Geek Nation tours. My buddy Terrace, do you know Terrace? He runs tours to very nerd specific things all across the world. Like he did like famous Japanese battle sites, including like wearing armor and cosplay. Some of these are insanely deep. I recommend Etsy for any number of additional things that are handcrafted, specialized, and that gives you that I went shopping for my geek and found this thing that is special, and there's not that many of them, and it's locally made or whatever it is. Yeah. Well, a coupon book of promises to play games together. I want a Becky coupon book.
I think another thing that, like what Becky said, is making a coupon book of gaming opportunities, right, is a really cool gift to give to a gamer, right? Especially if I'm an uninitiated And I understand that my friend that I'm buying or giving a gift to is very much into that thing and has always wanted me to play games with them, to give them a coupon book that says, you can redeem this for one deck builder, even though they probably don't know what a deck builder is, which is fine.
Right. Or a Saturday night, a gaming Saturday night, or
redeem this for a game night for November and have one for every month, right? So they're going to play a game night with you every month. A 12 coupon book would be great. Another one is a lot of uninitiated have skill sets, right, that can easily translate. Like I have a cousin who is a carpenter who does cabinetry and all sorts of other woodworking stuff. And he built me a dice tower for Christmas one year. And he's like, I've never done anything like this, Rick. And he lives in Tennessee. He's like, I ain't never done nothing like this. But, I looked it up on a few websites and I was like, I can do that. Then he made me a really beautiful dice tower, right? And it's like that. I mean, he and I weren't the closest growing up. And I hadn't seen him in years, right? And I got it for Christmas. And I was just like, this mother effer.
Yeah.
My heart swelled like the Grinch. He's like, oh man.
No, that's amazing. I love that.
Anybody that sews or knits, they can make a dice bag, right?
Oh my God. You saw that alien costume for kids where you get to be a xenomorph, right? Like there are so many hats, crochets, mittens, anything that has the Hyrule symbol, anything that has a Link or Zelda in it, like anything that has Pokemon, anything that can be created. If you are crafty and you would like to knit, crochet, whatever, there are any number of patterns to make this happen, and people will feel very special. Yes, so things that are in the person's purview that are nerd adjacent. And if you have a crafting skill, like if you cook, you might not even have to play games with the person. You can say, I will cater one of your game nights in blah, right? And that would blow everybody away. I will do a nerd-based, food fest. Obviously, that's great in and around Halloween, but there are other nerd holidays during the entire thing that really make it happen.
So think about this. If you, again, maybe not be a gamer, but that, even uninitiated are fans of something, right?
Right.
If they cook, right? Harry Potter, again, we have our issues, in the community. But
yeah.
Harry Potter as a series has become very much a Christmas or Thanksgiving holiday.
Right.
So is Lord of the Rings. I would flip my freaking cap if someone said, hey, let's watch the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Rings, and I will cook a Fellowship of the Ring dinner for this, right? And
Yay!
And they make lambus bread and they get like
the whole day, and they're in the kitchen and they deliver the food based on where you are in the story. So there's Hobbit cooking and all this kinds of stuff, and there's a great glorious feast at the end of 12 hours of movie watching has happened. And there is a Dungeons and Dragons cookbook. You could buy that cookbook and you could say, hey, I'm going to make these dishes from it and blah, blah, blah. And you don't need to know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, but what you will realize is that special nerd or geek in your life will lose their mind. 100%. This idea that you're giving them something that they would want, but they don't necessarily know. Subscriptions are interesting, obviously, beer of the month, cheese of the month, all these things.
I feel like there is a board game subscription box that's out now.
There's all those loot boxes too. Right. For the uninitiated, if you know somebody's a fan of a thing, the loot boxes, the weird like Japanese candy of the month club, that one is off the chain. Because those guys, like, there's a lot of nerd crossover with that, because anime stuff finds its way in there, Pokemon stuff finds its way in there. It is adventurous and surprising to everybody. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting subscription services. If that person would like that kind of thing, it's not without a price tag. Yeah, but it is definitely something that says I put in effort. I thought about how you participate in these fandoms. I thought about how you participate with these communities, and I would like to, acknowledge you as a person. So let's talk a little bit sort of about the etiquette of gift giving and all this kind of stuff. Understanding that a gift is not about you and it's not about them. It is about you wanting to acknowledge, see, or support them in the thing that they're doing. That is the best version of gift giving. Okay, right. It is not the mercantile exchange. And I don't want to be on a soapbox or whatever that is. But if you're really thinking about why do I want to, like, why would the nerd of my life get excited about that? Think about that aspect of community. And of course, that goes back to the games that they like, the game stores they like, the communities they participate in, and all that kind of stuff. Or making an event for their gaming group. If you're if you're an uninitiated spouse of a gamer, like, hosting a game something for them with all this accoutrement is the kind of gift that keeps on giving, but it can also be like, hey, I will play we'll turn date night into 2-person game night coupon.
The coupon idea is actually really brilliant when you think about, just like you said just a minute ago, recognizing them for who they are and what they love, right? Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things is a lot of people buy gifts for someone or their friends and family out of, like, they just feel like they have to.
Yes, that is when I had to step out. When I felt like it was an obligation and not like in the meaning of gifts, I myself had to step out of, like, gift giving. I'm like, I'm not doing holidays anymore. This does not resonate with what it was supposed to be. It doesn't have a lot of value for me. It doesn't hurt that I am incredibly poor, but I stepped out of this when I still.
I think the thing that is great about it is when you do receive a gift from someone that is uninitiated, that is in your fandom. I mean, it is literally one of the best feelings I think anybody can have. One, they acknowledge.